You guys wanted me to collab with a lot of people. I'm giving you these collaborations. So here we go. We got the real deal Chris Cormier. You know, back in the day, he used to call himself Chris Cormier, but now he done changed his name. He think he's Spanish now, so he called himself Spanish. He called himself Cormier.
He always say that on purpose. He think he's
He
Spanish.
called himself Cormier now.
Chris Cormier. Broderick Cormier.
Sounds sexy.
This joker been
Broderick Cormier.
for 45 years. No, how many? 55 years. Now he Cormier. But anyway, 52. Oh, but anyway, we got Breon here, man. You know,
What's up, guys?
two-time Mr. Classic Olympia.
Yeah.
Which I feel should have been 3, but you know, I'm not a judge, so
Yeah.
but it just give you my opinion. He looked amazing at, you know, at the show this past, at the Olympia this past couple weekends ago.
Appreciate you, Dex.
And you know, we just here. I wanted to let you guys see how we collab together. You know, I've known Breon for a while, but we've been trying to put this thing together, man. But you know, my business schedule, his business schedule, we hadn't had the time. Now, Chris, he always, you know, he's always busy too. Every time you look, he in a different country somewhere.
It sure is.
You know what I'm saying? Teaching his skills. So, Chris,
In the program, baby.
Chris, why don't you let the fans know a little bit about what's going on with you and your, you know, with your career now since you retired?
I just been, I actually didn't retire. I just kind of walked away into the sunset. I just walked away into the sunset and didn't say nothing else.
So that might be a comeback or something. You just walked away. You ain't retired.
I had not retired.
Bring your ass back there. Let's get it
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey man, we had so many battles. This guy, I mean, both these guys are very special to me in my heart. You know, every time they go up there, I feel like I'm up there with them. And you know, I'm watching everything. Even if I'm in China, if I'm in, say, Australia or wherever I may be, you know, helping out the next generation. That's what I've been doing over the last, you know, the last few years. But it's been good because, you know, it's a lot of give and take. I like to see the fruits of my labor up there playing itself out on many stages and many platforms, and I feel like, yeah, man, I'm thankful. I'm grateful to still be able to have a big part in the sport and to help the next guys coming up, and also, you know, just like I did with you, you know, I see something and I you know, I say what I see. It's funny, you know, one time I was competing with Dexter. I might have told you a million times probably over the preps. You know,
I've heard a lot of stories. A lot of stories.
you know, Dexter's get real mad, man. After Dexter is not a good. He don't take
He'll
them.
lose easy,
He's
huh?
not. Yeah, he don't like to go for those L's too.
Hell no. Who like to lose?
But yeah, but I was always telling him, like, you know, but it was never like, you know, between us. It was like, man, that was not the way that should have went. He was like, Chris, you know, and he's like, Chris Dexter's like sliced to the bone. It's like, I wish I ever had that condition, but that was never my goal. My goal was to bring in a Lee Haney type of style look, you know.
Well, you ain't never reached that look. Well, go ahead.
But go ahead. Okay. That's my boy.
Hey, it was swole. You know,
Yeah,
that
but
big
that's
old
my
back.
hero, man. That's all you can do is try to be like your hero, just like there was Jordan and there was Kobe.
Okay,
know?
gotcha. Okay, I kind of misunderstood what you're saying. Okay, go ahead.
I wore the red trunks. I was Lee Haney'd out in my mind, you know. But yeah, I got up to like I competed around the same height, same weight as he did. But you know, I never did his greatness, and he was done, you know, at 32 years old.
Chris, there's a reason why you ain't never reached it. You could have reached his greatness, but why didn't you do it though? There's a reason. Hold on, let me finish before you jump in. You know,
Because he's ready to jump in. He's ready.
I got that.
He ready. I was ready to go.
Shaking, ready to go.
Ready.
But what I'm saying is, you know, what was the reason why you didn't reach that level of, you know, like me? You know, I'm a, how do I say this? I'm like Kobe, that instinct. I wanna win.
I had that though. I had that.
But every time I saw you, the Olympia was on Friday, Thursday night. You was coming in.
That's not true.
Oh boy.
So the legend grows. Every time we tell this story, the legend grows.
You was coming into your room. You was coming into the hotel at 6 o'clock in the
That
morning.
wasn't the Olympia.
Yes, it was.
That wasn't the Olympia. And if that was the Olympia, that was probably like once or twice. Not my whole career.
Once or twice out of the 10 appearances.
I've had situations happen. It was more like the focus was going in and out sometimes. If I would have been around someone like myself, like I am, like for Breon, I'm like, I gotta tell you the hard facts, man. This is what it is.
Then you would have been working
I wasn't as
hard.
grounded. I wasn't as grounded because of my surroundings and the people that I let into my life. That's what it was messing with my my focus.
Okay, so
And that's relationship situations. That's personal relationships with different friends. Not every friend got the same goal as I set out to have from a kid from Palm Springs.
But Chris, when we used to fly, we go out of the country, we get to a show.
Okay, so what's happening? We're flying.
And then we go out. Then we go out
Did you
that
know I
night.
was doing
and
rounds?
the first thing.
Wait.
And the
Did you know?
first
Wait. Did you know I was doing rounds of posing in the bathroom when we
You
flying?
told me that.
I'm doing 5-6 rounds every few hours in the air. And I took the biggest bathroom.
In the air.
Yeah, dude.
You know how small them bathrooms are?
I do.
I
Chris,
the big
stop it.
I don't know, because you in there 250, you can fit in there and do posing?
Bro.
You can't even sit on the toilet. You gotta stand up
Oh,
and
I
take
got
a
the
dump.
big bath, the big handicap bathroom.
Handicapped bathrooms on the
It
plane.
is?
Or it's got to be the first class bathroom.
Man.
That's it.
But what I'm saying,
Can't be the economy bathroom.
how come every time we used to walk into the club, the first thing you do,
Take your
take your
shirt.
shirt, you pulling your shirt off and
Because
get
I
on
get
stage.
hot. I get hot, and I need to take my shirt off.
He said my metabolism
And
is
I had,
He jump up on
revved
top
up.
of the table and start dancing, y'all.
yeah, this is true. This is
But
not.
no, to be honest, no, to be real though, Chris, I think if Chris really, like when I come to LA, I get away from Jacksonville. I come to LA just to train for my competitions. So all I do is eat, sleep, and train. I don't go out. I don't go party. I don't do none of that. I sit home.
I know that.
You know, I go. I got a couple places that I call my second and third home. It's the grocery store
the grocery
and the movie theater.
Right.
And then I'm back home in the gym, of course, and then I'm back home. If you had that, don't you think you'd have been much better?
Oh yeah.
But I'm waiting for you
More
to say.
grounded.
I'm waiting for you to say something else of what you've been telling me though,
What?
of who you should have trained with.
Oh. Well, here's the thing. There's certain let's say you start from the beginning. I had certain training partners that pushed. And we was close. Me and Flex and Dexter, Rico.
I ain't that
we
old.
was we was close and we was working hard. I was like, I had different avenues I could have took. Train. I trained with Robbie Robinson to start. That's where I got my posing. He even tried to guide me in training, but at different times of your life, different times of your life, you're ready for different things. You're not always ready for everything someone has for you, even if it's going to be good for you at that certain time of your life. So, just like you, before you came to Venice, I was telling you should go to Venice, correct?
Yeah, because
And I was like, Fleck, I'm looking
I
at
saying
you.
that because I was started dipping
Yeah,
down.
yeah,
I was
and I'm
about
looking
ready
at
to
you, I'm like,
retire.
man, I'm looking at your training. I'm like, Dex, I said, you should go to Venice and train. You should go to
You damn
Venice.
sure did.
You should go to Venice and train. Like, if I would have had someone that was like close enough to me to be like, hey, you need to do this, because it's like, for me, I need to have gotten away from Venice.
You would have got.
I need to
if
got-
you'd have
I
went
need to
to
went
New
somewhere
York
else.
somewhere, you'd have been partying 24/7, just like you're doing
but I wanted to
here
go.
in LA.
But even Mannion was on the phone with me a lot back in the day. He was like, Chris, you need to go to England, train with Dorian, just stay out of sight.
You did do that one time, though, didn't
No,
you?
I was on my way, and that's when I got sick. That's when I went to the hospital. I was on my way. That's what I'm saying. I was 295 pounds when I went in the hospital, and I don't know, maybe the Lord was keeping me from endangering myself some other way, because I was definitely I was on 295 pounds. I'm in New York, and I had abs at the time. I had 12 weeks to go, and I felt like it was gonna be, this is the one. I felt it coming. Like this is the one. This was 06. This is before you won the Olympia. and I was ready. I was like, man, I was mentally ready. I was like, okay. Because even I'd see Dorian in different parts of the world, and he'd be like, hey, man, he's like correcting some of the stuff I'm doing wrong in the gym. I'm like, man, really? I didn't believe him, though. I was like, I'm not swinging. I was doing this shit. I'm swinging away. I'm using my whole body to bring the weight. And he was like, but I didn't see what he was even trying to show me. But if I would have done that stuff, I think the
But you
world
trained
would
with the best trainer in the world, Charles Glass, though, didn't you?
But brother, it's certain things that people can teach that I needed to amplify into my training style. My training style was I had a lot of power. I had a lot of power. Listen, I had a lot of power, but you got to connect in a certain way. You got to connect in a certain way that has nothing to do with power. It's mind-muscle connection. A lot of people say this word, but they're not actually having it, what they're saying. But once I started connecting all the dots, and when I did that, it was too late now, because I was older, and it was like not a good time. You know, I put in like so many years of competing, just like you did as a young kid, going up into this thing.
This is my thing. I tell everybody all the time. As you get older, you got to learn how to make the proper adjustments. You ain't know how to make adjustments like I did, you know, to be able to prolong my career. You know what I'm saying? So.
And it's not the same thing. Like, you know, I had the way I was training, it wasn't going to be conducive to me bringing the best physique. I was just doing power.
Moving weight.
Absolutely.
I was moving 500 and some pounds on the incline.
And I always say, a lot of people get, you know, especially when you have guys like Chris and like Dorian, all these guys that's used to training like that with those heavy weights. It's hard to get them away from training heavy like that to just machine work. It's a mind thing.
A mental thing, yeah.
Developed the muscle that I should have developed with all that power. Yeah. My chest was never how it should have been. My back was flatter than it should have been. Yeah. You know.
That's amazing. Now to see how he looked, but now to hear him say this, it wasn't developed like it should have been.
A lot of times I look at myself on the video, I'm like, man, I was trash in that video. I was trash in that photo. I mean, that's what I see. Wow. I see things.
So instead of people always saying Chris didn't have the work ethic to do, instead of people saying, this is why we got you on camera. Hold on, let me finish. This is why we got you on camera. Instead of people thinking that, because that's all we heard, now the truth is coming out that you wasn't training right to be able to have the physique that
I was sought after.
Absolutely. Now that makes sense.
But I had a wide frame.
See, but I always heard you party all the time. You know, because I know you went to the club one time. You was out with Victor for 3 days straight, just club.
That is
true.
3 days of sleep.
Wow. God, Chris, how you do it?
Oh, we getting all the dirty secrets out on here.
I've done that.
Y'all know me.
I've done that. And
I love this guy, man.
On the contrary, most said, I've done that. But, like, if the show is here, I'm having a good time up until now. I literally get up off the ground. Okay, shit starts now.
Listen, man.
Here we go.
I would go with Chris and see
all
Chris.
the way to the show.
I would see Chris eating bread. I'm like,
oh yeah, bread don't stop till 5 weeks out.
I'm like,
hey, bread wasn't stopping till 5 weeks out, bro.
Tuna fish and shit.
I mean the chicken sandwich on the way to the That was not my thing.
So I guess we also can say your eating habits wasn't up to par either.
No.
Yeah. Okay.
I could have been better with that, but I was competing with people who were no longer here anymore. That was chasing a certain conditioning look, and I was like, oh man, that's not my thing, man. I was looking, like I said, to do a different. I wanted to. I mean, I thought I could just train that hard in the gym, but think about how hard I had to train in the gym, in the posing room, to offset all these different little distractions.
Right.
Having 30 people. I mean, I walk around with 20 people in an entourage.
So to have the physique that you had was amazing
Yeah.
And you
That's
wasn't
what
even
that's
eating
what I'm
right
saying.
like you should, and you wasn't even really training.
That's what I'm
Or
saying.
sleeping.
It was amazing.
How
I'm
did you
going to
even
bed
attain
on
this
a-
physique?
I went to bed on the average of 2 o'clock, and I was getting up at 6 o'clock doing my fasted cardio and doing sometimes 3 times. Sometimes I show up in the gym 3 times in a day. But I was comfortable in the gym, and I was comfortable working hard, having a wrestling background. That's where a lot of it was like, okay, this is easy work because I couldn't even eat anything when I was wrestling. So I was just like, I'm just in there sweating, but I was able to put out a big energy, a lot of energy in the workout, even though I didn't have a lot of food in my stomach. So if I was able to eat something, man, I could just, I could really take that. But that's the one thing I didn't want people to think at all. Is like, it had nothing to do with work. My work ethic was different, but a lot of times I didn't have the best people in my surroundings that had the same mindset as I did. I wanted to be one of the best in the world from 2 years old. I remember telling myself, I want to be the best in the world at something. I didn't care if it was football, I didn't care if it was bodybuilding, I didn't care if it was racing a bicycle, because I did all of that stuff too, so that's where, but I had a heart of a lion from a kid, and that's where a lot of my work ethic comes from, and I still try to instill that, even if I didn't do it the right way, I know the right ways to go. So when it was like with you was like getting super frustrated when I was beating you a lot of times up until 2004 or 5.
Yeah, you were wearing me out.
Like that. But every time I would, beat you, I was like, Dex, I said, we'd be in the back
Crying and
yeah,
shit.
we pissed, we crying, we shedding tears backstage, we just pissed. You just be so mad, you can't.
So bad, huh?
Yeah, you want it so bad. But I was like, man, I said, one day it's gonna be yours, Dex. Don't even trip. I said, Dex, I said, this is now. I said, you growing, you learning. I said, but who does this honestly? Like, this really, really happened. We are in Europe, and we was like hitting side chest, whatever. My eye is so quick and so trained. I'm watching to see what he doing wrong in the pose. And I was like, Dex, I said, come into my room, man. I'm gonna show you something that you're doing wrong. And he said, okay. He actually came up there. Remember that? Mm-hmm. Came up there to the room. And I said, when you hit your side chest, you're doing all of you. I think he was bringing his elbow out way too far this way. And I was like, dude, you got to do this and that.
Like this.
How many people do that with their chief competition?
Right.
Chief competition, he was on my nip. He was nipping on my heels.
Oh, you still was like here. And
No,
I
it's
was
just because of your conditioning. It wasn't because of your size. It was your conditioning.
This was
So on, I was like, shit. Don't look at my glutes. Don't look at I'm shaking them. I'm shaking them. I'm twerking them.
Wow.
But he was just so diced. It was like, man, it's only a matter of time where this kid's gonna be right there and knocking it out the park. So when he goes to compete now, like these days here, I'm like, Dexter was one of the best guys you ever want to go up against because he had like too much of everything, all over his body was something to see, and the judges still make money off that today because he has different things that come into play. Okay, when I see him compete, I'm like, okay, he turned around, he got that, he still got that. Okay, that's just gonna be good because these guys don't even understand the stuff that he's even doing up there. Right. Everything's calculated. Nothing's for nothing.
Right.
He don't spend time touching himself as he get into his pose. He don't need to put his hand back there and feel his glute.
He has it already. Just show it to you.
Yeah, but these guys spend, that's like 4 or 5 seconds you touching on yourself. I mean, you could be into your pose. And you don't do that. You don't do that either because I wouldn't let you do that. Because that plagues this whole sport. It's like people
do it anyway. Well, you used to shake it like you was in the This joker right here used to shake it like he was a stripper.
In the club.
I was just like, you know what though? I'm a shy person, so.
Yes, she is. What?
I'm shy.
And she is.
So I had to really throw myself into the fire, like, bad.
Ain't nothing shy about you.
He said, I
don't believe that.
go the other angle, huh?
So Breon, let's switch turn the table a little bit to Breon, man. Breon, you used to be a bodybuilder before you became classic physique, right?
Yeah, 212.
So why don't you tell everybody, tell the people, your fans, my fans, and a little bit on how you became a bodybuilder, and then you then you went to Classic Physique.
Classic, yeah. Yeah, so I started off as 212. This bodybuilding game is it's a trip because you always, even to this day, I'm thinking, sometimes I get caught up in thinking size. And I thought I had that all mastered and not thinking that all the time. Especially now that I'm, that I've been able to be blessed to be the Classic champ. So I started off in the 212. Well, Classic wasn't even constructed when I started off in the 212 anyway, so I had no choice but to start off in the 212. And my goal was to reach the Olympia stage as a 212 competitor, and I gave myself a two-year goal. And it was a size thing. So the first year I competed in 2014 in the 212, I chased the size thing, and I ended up doing terrible. New York Pro was my first 212 show, and then the Phoenix Pro. I was dead last in 2014. Dead last. And I got like 11th or 12th at the Phoenix Pro. So that was an eye-opener.
So the first couple of years, Danny won.
First one in Classic, Danny won.
Who won the second?
That was me.
Okay, got you.
Yeah, that was me in 2017.
Okay, nice.
Yeah. So it was a 212 thing, what I was chasing before they came out with Classic. Then I said, okay, you know what? I turned pro at the same weight that I have to come down to as a pro Classic competitor. It was 175. I actually would have to lose 1 more pound and be lighter than I was as an amateur turning pro. Right. So but I said, hey, that's the shape I turned pro at. Let me go to that.
Right.
Let me go to that division. Let me go to that weight and see how it turns out. And it ended up, I ended up hollering at Chris, man. We met in Venice. Yeah, I said, let me get somebody who knows this game and who is a legend in this game and who really knows what they're doing to really help me out and bring, my genetic talents and my gifts and reach their full potential. So that's what I did. After the first Olympia, right, I hollered at you. After the one I got 4th place. Before.
Because before you went to that show in Florida, and you went up against Charles, what's his name? From Florida, Charles.
From Boca Raton. Durham Charles. Yeah, Durham Charles.
Durham Charles. So before that's when we met up. But then we didn't start training until after that point. But at first we were just doing some posing, and I was just helping you with some poses.
Yeah.
And then So then we watched you do that, and then we kind of went on to compete. But I saw a lot in you early on. I was like, man, this guy can really do something, man. Like, I was like, dang, man, this kid was like, because he was diced up already. And I was like, man, you can feel out there's, different parts of your body, your weak points, bring those up. Yeah. I think you can do some real damage.
And it's such a trip, you just, I thought I knew what I was doing. I thought I knew how to train. I thought I knew about intensity. I thought I knew about mind-muscle connection, But it's such a humbling thing when you you meet other people that give you different counsel.
Right.
And that's when I met Chris and it was like, wow, that's a whole different mentality of going about training. It's a whole different mentality of going about different techniques and going about bringing details out in the physique. And as soon as I really wrapped my mind around that, I said, we definitely can win the Olympia. And we definitely can win it multiple times, Now I got to get on your level, Dex, and win it multiple, and be in this game.
Won Olympia but once,
well, I mean, just winning shows.
Winning shows.
Just longevity, and winning shows. Yeah, W's and W's. I'm just so marveled at how you do it with how you did so many shows in a year, and throughout the years. Yeah. When I'm dead tired now after 2 shows this year,
Yeah, so that's what Chris and I, back in the day, that's what we used to do, man.
I'm marveled at that. That's unbelievable.
We averaged 8-9 shows a year.
Unbelievable.
I was averaging 10 for a good minute. That's what I'm saying. Is like to average those type of many shows, your work ethic has to be dead on.
Absolutely.
To get into those shows, like that's one point that a lot of the new generation don't understand that part of it, because a lot of these guys do 2 or 3 shows and they're done. They're dead, and it's like they don't want to do no more. And that's why I know when Dexter did the show in Florida this year, I knew he'd be able to go into there and improve on into Olympia, and that's one thing he did. At this age, is pretty.
Well, being that I was flat on Friday, yeah.
But a lot of that comes with just you being older, and the nitrogen balance don't stick like you went. But when you're 25, you can work out one day. You pump for 2 weeks.
Oh yeah, damn right. Your pump is down in 2 days. And I used to eat that's why back in the day I would eat.
My pump is down in 2 days.
I would eat 2 meals and drink 5 shakes and be swole.
Good.
I can't do that no more. That was my thing. 2 meals, 4, 5 shakes.
Unbelievable.
Metric shakes.
I don't need to do no cardio.
With 2 meals and
cardio.
With 2 meals and 5.
Then next thing you know, Dexter's like, well.
Yeah,
He still don't do a lot. He still don't do a lot.
What's up, guys?
On the bike. He was still doing just 20 minutes a day, Dex. That's it. And get as shredded as you do.
Yeah, I'm blessed with great genetics, man. Thanks to my mom and pops.
Man, that's unbelievable.
But we had some great times on stage, man. We used to clown, laugh. We have full-on laughing sessions in the middle of the competition sometime upstairs on stage, and it's like, going around the world with this cat, going on, on your journey with you, man. It's such a blessing for me just to watch and just to be I'm still a fan of what I'm seeing up there, so.
Yeah, I learned so much stuff from this guy, man. I mean, Chris taught me a lot. Chris is, I would have to say, Chris taught me more than anybody in this sport.
Wow.
Ever.
Wow.
Coming up through the ranks, Flex taught me a couple of things here and there, but nothing to the level as Chris.
More like I want to see everybody.
He got me my first sushi roll.
That makes sense, because
man, food is a big thing for
me,
me,
man.
man.
Sushi so much.
This
Food
fool
is a
loves
big
some
thing.
food. All you gotta do is see his IG stories. This fool loved to eat some good food.
Try to cut it down a little bit, but sometimes when I got that perfect meal, man, I gotta share that one with the world, man.
That's Japanese sushi. This is the man.
Seafood,
lobster,
lobster,
man
crab.
for that.
Oh yeah, this boy loves to eat
Man,
seafood.
I'm gonna give me a
On the pancake man, he the seafood man.
I had a shrimp.
shrimp tempura
He
cut
didn't even
roll.
remember what it was.
Shrimp tempura cut roll.
It wasn't raw. I'm not eating nothing raw.
Cause my boy turned me on to the fried turkey for Thanksgiving.
Oh yeah, fried turkey, baby.
Man, dude, the fried turkey though.
Oh, that sounds real Southern-like.
Oh yeah.
After taking a loss this year, like what's in your mind to get better? What can you do better, and where you feel that you could have done better?
Yeah, well, Chris, how we go about it is we always think that we can improve some way, somehow,
And
no matter what.
That's how you get better.
Yeah.
That's how you continue to get better. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. So we always strive for perfection. Just reflecting after this Olympia, I'm very disappointed. Obviously, very disappointed, very upset. But I still think that we can bring a physique to the stage next year that's 1,000 times better. I still think that, and I still believe that. I still think I could do all the little things, better leading up to it in prep. With the diet, with the posing, with the.
You don't need to do no more posing, bro. Every time I see you, got your shirt off somewhere. Posing. You ain't gotta do no more posing.
Your boy don't keep them clothes on ever. You're around.
Let them know. Let them know.
I say, but Breon, I say, Chris, Breon pose. I mean, he got his shirt off and he
The whole time,
posing. The whole time we went to the show. We already know what it looked like. We don't need to see him in the there. come up, Bree.
Hey,
Cast, man.
Me and Chris, again, with me and Chris, back in the day, we come in with,
nothing.
you can't even see, I mean, like a
Nothing.
mummy. You might see
better,
our eyes.
You better try to look at my face and see how hard
oh
it is.
no, this
See
a
it on the
new
shape of
day.
my face.
Yeah.
That's it.
No, this a new day.
You know what?
You gotta show.
There ain't no
show.
new day, because guess what? In my division, all these guys I see showing their physique before the show, I'm like, okay, I ain't worried. I got you. I got you. I know just how hard I need to work.
Right.
I ain't worried about none of them.
That same energy when you come on the stage.
They're exposing their flaws, huh? Right. You carving them up with the pictures they showing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
How does it feel for you to go against some of these guys? Some of these guys are in their 20s. Some guys in their 20s, Dexter. How does that feel to even go up against these guys when you the elder?
To be honest, I just love to compete. I love to compete against, I love the competitiveness of the sport, competing against guys from all around the world. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't think about that age-wise. I let all the fans and the media and all that stuff talk about that. But to me, everybody can be beat. Anybody can be beat at any given point. So I just worry about me. And of course, I see these young guys in the magazine, on Instagram and stuff. I'm like, wow, this guy's gonna be great one day. You know what I'm saying? But for me to say, yeah, I'm beating these young guys, I don't think that way.
Yeah.
Like I say, I want to beat everybody. If I'm playing a kid in not no fucking PlayStation. I said that before. If I'm playing a kid in a Madden or something.
Oh, okay, the game.
I'm trying to win.
Of course.
I'm trying to win. I don't care who I'm playing against. Because I love to win.
Yes.
Anytime you start losing and start being okay, it's okay to lose. That's when. You know what I'm saying? That's when you want. It's kind of ready to get up out of it.
That's when you will start losing.
I never went into a show thinking I can't win the show.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah, you want to be a factor every time you go to a show. You want to be a factor.
and when I see guys backstage, man, it's like everybody look amazing. I'm a poor judge. I cannot judge a physique.
With your naked eye.
Backstage, everybody's like, God dang. But
Yeah.
when you see the pictures, it's like, oh, okay, what the hell
Yeah.
what was I looking
Yeah,
at? But
yeah.
everybody look awesome to me. So
Not always the biggest guy. It's that the way you put together. You want to have all the different nuances put together. Your separation, like I say, the shape is huge, and also the shape of your muscles. Like this guy had some crazy muscle bellies. I was always like, dang man, look at this dude.
you ain't never tell me that.
I can't tell you that 'cause I'm competing against you.
But he figured it.
I still got to get your mind into thinking you're just inferior to me. That's how you got to do it, man. Mentally, you can't tell that stuff till after I'm finished competing. Then I can be like, oh man, like that. But at the time, you gotta keep someone's mental mindset about you. Like, oh man, I can't beat that dude.
Yeah.
Look at this dude, I can't beat him. So that's how you do it. But after all is said and done, you can, I'm like that with most of the guys I compete against. I had to go against Ronnie, I had to go against Flex. I'm training with these guys. I trained with them all just to see. I wanted to know how they are as a man, how their heart, how big is their heart, how hard do they work, and but to see some of the stuff, I go, oh man, I see Flex with all this stuff going, strikes is going all across his back, and I got to compete against the person, and I'm pushing them in the workout. So just think about that mindset I gotta have, or try to have when I go to compete against these guys. You know what I'm saying? We're doing photo shoots with Jay Cutler. Jay Cutler, we had different physiques, but still we had to try to beat each other, and we had to try to mentally, keep each other thinking, oh man, it's gonna be hard to beat that guy, And Dexter, like I said, just watching Dexter go up through the ranks and the times, it was a time when I was like, okay, I'm bigger than Dexter, but then Dexter started filling out his physique.
Yeah, and it works that way with everybody. I was the same way when Phil was coming up. I was like, yeah, this little young buck, he gonna be good, but he ain't ready yet.
Yeah, Phil had that walk. I remember he came into Gold's Gym walking. Yeah, I just won the show.
Local show?
No, I just turned pro. I'm the newest pro.
Yeah.
I looked at him like,
okay.
I didn't say, okay, like that. But he was like, oh man, he still remember. Phil, you remember that, don't you?
Yeah, man.
I was laughing. I was just playing with your head, Phil. That's all.
And I used to be the same way. I used to be like, but when this guy gets this muscle maturity, he's gonna be unstoppable. And once Phil got that muscle maturity, it was a wrap, man.
Yeah. And I say that about some of these classic guys.
I wonder how.
I say that about some of these young classic guys. I'm like, well, oh boy, when they get muscle maturity and they start filling out and then physique starts maturing and growing and developing more, they're gonna be on my ass and they can potentially, when who knows where it's gonna be where I'm at,
In this classic division, it's only been, going a few years now, but there's some guys are 6 feet tall, some guys are 6'1", some guys are 5'6", and it's like, they don't have a weight class per se to mix them up for heights, but I just think, how do you feel about that and how that, how that compares to the different heights and the different looks?
Well, up until this year, when I brought my best physique to date and didn't get the win, I thought they had it figured out. I thought they had it figured out. I thought they had the criteria figured out, and I thought they got it. But now I'm a little confused on if they really do or not. Regardless of the heights and regardless of the bigger person and all this and that.
Is the best guy? Is it the shapes of the person? Granted, Bumstead has a remarkable frame. His frame is great, So, that's gonna, people with a big frame, a big wide frame, it's gonna be, hard to beat them if they, put together right.
Yeah.
So if they're like when he was, last year he was second place, 1 point difference, but he was beneath. So his condition was way off. I thought out of the top 3 or 4 guys. But this time he was, he was surprisingly harder than what I thought he was going to be. Maybe, but it's so close with you guys. It's still an apple and orange, but it's just so close in the different things you guys have on each other.
The strengths,
You have different strengths on each other. So that's one thing that's going to be hard to deal with, in the future. But how do you feel you can come in the next time? Like, what would be what would you picture for yourself? I picture you in a certain way. Yeah. You may have a way that you picture yourself coming in.
I think just crisper and better conditioning. I think that would.
You gotta look like you're ready to bleed. I think you need to look
I think
like
that'll
that.
be the answer. I think that'll be the answer to getting it back, getting the title back.
How do you feel about your conditioning this year versus last year?
Better. Better.
It was better this year than last year?
I felt it was better this year, and I was fuller
you had
this year.
different parts. I think you had a lot of fuller, but I'm talking about. But last year, it was more like it was hard, scary to even look at type. This time you have fuller, rounder, different areas improved like that. But I'm talking about that. It's a little sheen of.
Yeah, I feel
it's a little sheen that was just like. It looked like you had stitches holding your damn body together.
Yeah.
Stitches, dude.
But a
it
little
was
on the
stitches.
flatter side.
Yeah, flatter side. Yeah.
Yeah, last year.
Yeah. Because you had because it was hard, because you was in shape at 190 pounds. You still had 10 pounds to go, but you was ready to go on stage at 190.
Yeah.
So that's the thing.
Yeah. So I think this is the combination. The combination of sharpness. Dex, that's how you, that's your thing.
How do you, like, in my opinion, Dexter, this year, I felt like.
I mean, speak your mind. Don't hold back. Speak it.
I'm thinking. So I'm thinking. So when he came into the show,
was garbage, go ahead and say it.
No. Listen. I felt you looked better at the Olympia than you did in Florida.
Right. I do too.
A lot of things came alive, more separation in your quads and stuff like that. I think there's still some things you can do to improve. I think you can improve more.
I do too.
I want to know what you think you can improve more on. Dex.
Well, I told him, like, there's certain parts of his obliques, serratus, the lower part of the abs, all that stuff can be improved.
Better than Tampa. Came in better than Tampa, but I can improve.
You can improve.
I mean, I'm getting older.
Getting older.
Once you get up to my age, all of this wants to
Yeah.
It wants to side.
That's just from each year that goes more. It's another,
Absolutely.
It's another level, another thing. So to
So now-
offset that, what are you gonna do?
Well, now that I've conquered
And if I was you,
them legs, I know how to keep my legs big. Now we got to work on getting my stomach right. You know what I'm saying?
I
So
would just tell you detail that shit out, man.
well, Chris,
Detail that
it
shit
sounds
out.
easy as hell, but
No, it's not. But you can do it, man. You can do it.
you ain't
You
50,
can
you
do
ain't
it.
ways, you're
50,
second
you don't know.
done.
But I know this game, bro. I know this game. I know your body.
But no one has never
and
done
I'm
it at this
watching you on the
age.
stage. I know you're in uncharted waters. I know that. I get that.
Now, what I'm doing, Chris, is
But you're a
I'm with a team.
science
I'm working with a
project
team.
is gonna- I'm trying to.
I'm working with
But
a
I
team
always
now.
told you, and I always told you this. I said, if you want to go to war, I'm one of the people you want to have
Absolutely.
in your motherfucking camp.
That's right.
Because I'm a fucking. I'm
A
that
soldier.
Guy. I'm that guy.
A
dude. I'm
soldier.
that guy.
Chris gonna keep it 100
And I'm
with
just
you.
telling
Yeah,
you,
man.
yeah, I'm not gonna yes man you and all that stuff, and it'll be like I want you to work. But if you ever want me to help you in anything, I always told you this almost every year of your life.
Yeah.
I'm here. I'm here. I'm right here.
But Chris, the things that listen, one thing about me and my trainer is we analyze everything. What you told me I need to work on, I already know that.
I know.
You know what I'm saying?
But I can show you. The
So,
things.
but I'm already
I'm
working
watching.
on-
I'm watching things, and I know you can do something better.
Okay, but what I'm saying is once you get older, all of this starts getting rounded.
Don't I know?
It ain't
Don't I know? Tell me about it, brother.
so what I'm saying is there's a reason why this
I
is
know
happening,
that.
and
I
no
know
one
that.
has been able to figure it out. Well, I've been working with
I
a
know
good
you.
group of people,
I know.
okay, and I've been able to figure my legs out, so I'm the first one to do that. So I might be the first one to figure out how to bring this back down to when you were 10 years ago.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So,
Wow.
you know, it's
Can. You do it.
I know we can, because you know
I want to see you do it.
I'm gonna try, Chris. I'm gonna do it.
I want to see you doing
Now,
what
Chris,
it
if
takes
I
to
get
do
this
it.
back down to 10 years ago, I'm gonna be doing this thing another 10 years.
Yeah, you are. You at 60.
I give you about three. I give you about three
We'll
of
be
them.
here at 60.
We'll give you 3 of them. And that's it.
Yeah.
You give what?
3 years, 3.
3 more
Tree.
years? I
Tree.
don't know about 3, man.
Come on, Dad. I'm gonna run out there with your coat and put it over your
Ah, the James Brown.
James Brown. I want to see you move like James.
Oh, God.
It's remarkable though, Dex, how you just still have so much passion still for competing.
It's remarkable, man.
I mean, through all these eras that you've been through all these guys that you competed against, that's
Yeah.
remarkable. Because
Jordan, man, that's the Jordan.
that's what I'm saying. Because
That's the Jordan,
like
baby.
I say, guys,
Come on now,
this is my
Dick.
second show this year, and I'm worn out. I'm
man.
worn out. After 2
Marathon
shows.
continues though.
and it's just remarkable the body of work throughout all the years, throughout all the
Staying
shows
healthy,
per
staying
year,
healthy, man. That's the big thing.
and still have the burning desire to go out there and compete and win, and
man.
it's just.
Yeah,
That's
how do you-
amazing.
how do you do that?
Where does all that come
How
from?
How do you do that?
I know a big part of it is
Seriously.
that listen, you wouldn't have that burning desire if you weren't great and you weren't good.
Yeah.
But maybe aside from all that, where what do you maybe you could shed some light.
Let me see. I think it's the fire burning in my heart. Once that fire burns out, then it's time to go.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Or there's another side to that. When the fire burns out, or if the physique doesn't hold up anymore.
Yeah.
So those two things.
Yeah.
If the physique doesn't hold up, it's time to go. If the fire in my heart,
That heart is
burns
gonna
out,
control everything.
then
though.
it's time to go.
The heart is gonna control everything.
The
for
who?
you. The heart and your mind is gonna control everything.
Not really.
I mean,
The
as far
heart,
as
the
like-
heart can want to do it, but if the body's
That
sagging
muscle
everywhere,
But he said, I guess he's saying if
But
the
I
heart,
always look for things on you. I look for your trademark, lower back, that glute, hamstring, and quad tying. If that thing is deep right there, then you're always gonna be good when you hit that last spread.
Yes,
that
I know that. I know that.
Those
But
trademark things are in there. You're gonna always place
But
well.
Chris, but Chris, I know I can place well. I probably can place well, for the next 10 years if I wanted to.
But Dexter.
Wow, you just said that, Dex?
I really think I
For
can
another
place,
10 years.
I really think I can place well. I mean, for the next 10 years if I wanted to.
People compete at 56 years old on Olympia stage.
Yeah, I mean, Robbie Robinson. I mean, not Robbie Robinson,
Oh,
but
well,
Beckles,
yeah,
56.
He was 56, taking second in Olympia.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I really feel that
Wow.
because I don't have to do all the work that most guys have to do.
Yeah.
I don't have to do all the cardio and all that
Yeah,
nonsense.
yeah. I mean,
you know,
that-
I'm
that
doing
helps.
abs now, but I'm just starting to do abs.
Yeah.
You know,
Wow.
what else? Food. The main thing with me is that I hate the most is eating all this food.
Fish.
All the food. I have to eat so much food just to keep the size. It wears on you.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's times in the diet that I just skip 2 meals a day because I'm just so tired of fucking eating all this food.
You full. And you
know
force
what I'm
feed.
saying? So
That's
that's
So
what
that's
makes
another
it-
thing too with the
Like I
abs.
was telling people,
I haven't had oatmeal since I fucking walked away.
Like I was telling
No
Chris.
oatmeal.
Oh, you
Chris,
hate
like I was
oatmeal?
telling
I
people,
love oats.
No.
when we used to compete back in the day, Chris, we wouldn't eat 2 cups of rice every meal for 7 meals. We wasn't doing that.
No, man.
This is where all this bloatness and all this. If I
I know,
were
we
to
looking
cut back
at-
to a cup and a half a day, a cup of rice a day, 5-6 meals a day. That's what we was doing back then.
Yeah.
If
Oh,
I
a
was
cup-
to do
a
that,
cup every meal.
I lose a lot of
Or
weight.
less.
I lose a lot of weight, and then I look flat because I wouldn't be as full as these guys. So I'm not gonna come into the show, which I tried to do this year. I wanted to try to keep my stomach down as much as possible going into the Olympics for prejudging, and then guess what happened? I was flat up here, and then my stomach like it was even distended a little bit more because I was flat up here. That's why when I came in, Saturday night, fuller, it looked way better. Stomach was more, more in, and chest was sticking out past the stomach, and it wasn't like it was reversed the other way.
You ate. You ate.
I
You
had
ate
to
more.
Eat my ass off on Saturday to fill back out, yeah. But back then, Chris, when we was eating less, listen, if I was to drop 15 pounds, it would be no good. It'd be gone.
Right.
But with all this food that we eating, I have to eat. I'm not gonna be the one to say, I'm gonna cut back and then come in the show flat. Look what happened.
Yeah.
And then these guys that's full wear my ass out. So I
Yeah,
gotta
yeah,
eat
yeah.
just to stay up with these guys.
Yeah, yeah.
So it makes
feel
sense,
me?
it makes sense to
Wow.
like fueling our body, but you're gonna have to make the biggest changes, maybe raising either your intensity or IQ in the gym to offset some of that. To maybe pick
Chris,
up
I'm 50
some
years
extra-
old. I ain't trying to do all that. you trying to get a brother to test up and get hurt?
No,
Man.
man.
doing all that.
No, but that's the thing.
I ain't
You're
never had a
not using
problem
those
with
type
training.
of. You're not gonna use those type of. I don't think you need to use the big, heavy weights that might hurt yourself. But if you stay
Look, I'm training with the
Stay
best
more
training in the
connected.
world. I'm good.
more
Be
connected,
good.
you stay connected to your body, your mind, to that muscle, and not overdoing the poundages. And just staying, you're already built up, so it's not the same thing as you, You're already built up.
Well, I mean, which is what we're
just
doing.
make
I'm
things
not
better.
trying to do everything. I'm not trying to go past my limit. I'm nothing like that. And mind over muscle. This is what we practice every day. This is what we do when I'm in the gym with Charles. When I
So
train,
when did you start doing your abs more? When?
I started doing, I started really training abs after Tampa.
Really.
Yeah.
And throughout
Not
your whole
before?
career.
No.
You
No abs.
throughout your whole career.
No abs.
Unbelievable.
Ask her.
Unbelievable.
No abs.
Okay, we're gonna do some abs then.
Unbelievable.
I mean, I'm doing abs now.
Saying he was going to, but he never really.
I was going
committed
to.
She always be like, you need to get down, you need to start doing some planks. I'm like, planks? That's gonna tighten your core. I'm like, hey, that's for a chick. I ain't doing that.
Work. Pilates work. Yoga work.
I never planked it.
Yeah, but, I asked Rolly, I said, well, Rolly, out of all the people, if you see my video my last video, I said, well, Rolly, how did you get, because Rolly had one of the worst extensions ever.
Yeah.
And for Rolly to lose that thing,
Some of it was
Chris,
closing.
no, but still,
I'm just saying, I was out there helping him.
it doesn't matter. When he let it go, it's gone. Back
No,
then.
but in your mind, but even when You walk out on the stage, your mind's got to be connected.
Chris, I
to
used to pose with you. What I'm telling you, I done been to your rigorous posing before. That's why I don't mess
Let's
with you.
talk
no
about
more.
that. What do y'all think? Both of y'all been through some hard posing sessions with me.
Oh yes,
I
damn
really
it.
want y'all to do well.
Yeah,
It's not about me trying to be hard. I just want you guys to do well.
yeah.
Describe some of the posing sessions we have.
That's why I don't mess with you no more.
Tell me, describe
too
for the
hard,
fans,
too much.
for the fans, for the fans.
Yeah.
This dude right here have you in there, man. I'm talking about if you ain't got a puddle of sweat on the floor, you can't leave the room.
Wow. Yeah.
You can't leave the room.
Yeah. Rounds
but
after
you're-
rounds after
we're trying to
rounds. You're tired. Rounds.
But you know what though? I must admit it does help.
It does help.
It does help, but
It does
still,
help. It does
when
help
you get on that
everything.
stage and you
You
pose
gotta
in
be,
front,
you gotta-
hold
you
on,
can be tired.
and pose in front of them judges, you still gonna be winded as hell.
Yeah.
But you need to be able to.
But Chris,
be
back in
able
the day,
to, but you need to be able to perform when you're winded as hell.
But you know what
You
though?
still gotta be able to
I
perform.
was so
Yeah,
gifted
yeah.
and I was so blessed to have the physique that I had, the conditioning that I had. When I get that thing posed, I'm like, you gone, I'm not coming out no more.
Oh.
You see what I'm saying?
Hey, not all of us are blessed with all of that.
That's to be
Not
mad.
all of us have had the blessing of being able to be
y'all calling
in
me
and-
out again?
in and out like that.
Let me tell you something.
Y'all call me out again.
One time I was in a show. You was in it too, I believe. And Wayne DeMillia was the head judge. I did nine straight call outs.
Call outs, yeah.
9.
Yeah,
Wow.
Yeah, that's some shit.
Am I lying, Chris?
No.
Listen, I almost died. Dick
I
Flex
did
was like
7,
that.
man.
I said, Chris, I'm done. I gotta go, Flex. I can't
Wow.
do this no more.
Wow.
Flex was like, man, you better get your ass back up there. Fight. You gotta
You
fight.
gotta fight, man.
I was
That's the
ready
thing.
to leave.
Wow.
9
the thing,
straight
like-
call outs.
And I'm
Wow.
telling you, after 5, you blurry. You got
They was
snot
trying,
running
they was
down
trying
your
to break
nose.
you back then, boy.
You got like, man,
Wow.
he was no joke. I did 7 in a row, man.
See?
That's no joke, man.
That ain't no
But
joke,
see,
man.
that's
No,
that's
even-
just
I thought
it.
he was kidding. I'm walking back. I thought he was joking. I'm like,
Chris
You want to call me back out again?
like,
Right.
what?
Again, nothing compared to what's going on now. And you know, I've been called
like
out
that.
4 or 5 times. And I thought I was dying at the
So
Arnold.
how was I posing together?
Yeah, so gruesome, grueling, same thing. Sweat on the ground, you know, posing after you training, you know. So it's a long session. But I think that's the main thing is that's the main thing being taught is that you have to perform when you're tired. You have to still perform. You have to focus, and you can't let it all go when you're tired. I mean, because you know, being tired and fatigue makes cowards of us all, right?
I ain't never heard that one
Test
before,
your-
but I
test
like that. I like
Yeah,
the way it sounds.
that makes cowards of us all. It really does.
Test your heart.
Yeah, and so that's just the main thing being taught. I think, Chris, when we go and pose, when you're tired and we go through the rounds and we have to hold the poses, and you want me to to hold it and you're talking and I have to just think about I'm tired, but I want to adjust and this and that,
Yeah.
I think that's the main thing, to perform while you're fatigued. And
See, that's amazing right there
Yeah.
for you to go right in there and start posing after training. Because Chris used to be like, "You ready to pose? What? Shit, I'll meet you back at 5."
right, a separate one. Oh no, we
No
go after
way you gonna
training.
give me the pose
we're
after
going
training.
Straight from training.
Now,
right
I
to the
tell you,
pose.
that's all respect. That's respect to you for doing that, man. I mean, you're still young though. See, but I'm
Oh, Dex, I got a little bit on me. A little bit.
How old are you,
Not-
Breon?
I'll be 38 in November.
38. Boy, if I was 38, I'd be winning. When I was 38, I won about 15 shows that year.
And see, I'm not doing 15 shows a year. Two.
different mindset now, man.
Yeah, man. And you know, that's remarkable
But it's
because
been- yeah.
you're doing all these shows at that weight. I don't have to eat 2 cups of rice every meal.
Man.
I got to come down to 180 pounds.
That's the one thing I can't wait to retire. When I retire, I can't wait to just eat like 3 times a day.
I want to try
You know what I'm
eating 2 cups. And
have
I'm
to worry
sitting here
about
on
it.
this side
You gotta
like,
worry about that,
I want
man.
to try your style. I want to eat more.
You're gonna get swole.
So I'm gonna try
You ain't
it.
gonna be able to get down.
I'm gonna try it.
You better get down.
And then I might have to go up. I might have to go back up, Dex. 212, open.
You might
Then
have
here
to
I
do that.
come. Then here I come then.
All right, man. So we need to go ahead and wrap this thing up, man. I mean, this was an amazing interview or whatever you want to call it here. Having
Yeah, man.
Chris here, man. Chris is-
Conglomerates of champions and
Yeah.
titles.
you know, having him here to be the narrator after all the stuff that we've been through, you know, and now he's with you, Breon, taking you through the ropes. You know,
Yeah.
he took me through the ropes. He's taking you through the ropes.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
So I just want to say, man, it's an honor for me to, you know, be friends with you,
Yeah,
Chris,
man.
and knowing
Yeah,
you all
man.
these years. You know,
For
I
sure,
love you
man.
like a brother,
Love
man.
you too, bro.
You know,
All day, man. I mean, this guy, man. Even like from the earlier days, it was like we playing PlayStation together.
Oh,
We-
man, I
we
used to
played
beat him down in
smoking
Madden,
him.
too.
I was like, dang, I used to be so pissed because I like to pass all the time. He was picking off everything.
Ah.
Like, damn, it took away my strength. But yeah, so we do that. But yeah, man, Dexter, man. It's totally like my little brother, man. Even we're a couple of years younger than me, but man, it's totally like my little brother. And like, I just enjoy watching you guys compete, and I'm just, you know, I'm just happy to be a part of what you're doing. And I'm really happy. This guy's been promoting. He's been teaching people. He's been, you know, like, motivating people all over the world for so long.
Yeah.
And it's just remarkable, man. You've been doing the same one time.
Yeah.
One
And,
day,
and
you're gonna
that's
be
that's definitely what I
promoting and
yeah.
motivating and staying positive with other people and people that this is like he's like this all the time. It's not like an act. He's like this.
Yeah, because when I first met
all the damn
Breon,
time.
you know that little, when I first met Breon, man, you know that little voice he got, that little.
Yeah. He talking.
Man, this dude here, boy, he fake, man.
He's like that all the time, man.
Always talking like that. You don't never get mad or nothing.
Yeah.
Every time you see him, he
He's
smiling
like that all the time.
with them pretty white teeth.
Yeah.
But man, when I got to know
The Eagles
Breon,
done
man,
lost, but he
man,
all
this
right.
is really a good dude right here, y'all.
Good-hearted dude, man.
Good-hearted
For sure.
dude, man. For sure.
Yeah, appreciate you guys, man. I really do. And I just try to learn. You know, I'm marveled at you guys. I'm just so blessed to be your guys' friends. And messages that I give out to you guys, I appreciate the support and love. It really is heartfelt. I'm gonna have a YouTube video with all these guys eating pancakes soon. More stuff to come. Okay. And just stay tuned. Much love, as always.
And how do we get a hold of Chris for training sessions?
Oh yeah, hit me up for
Yeah.
the real deal Cormier at gmail.com. Email me, and if you want to get down some posing, some training, whatever you want to do, to try and design a great physique. I'm that dude. So see what's up. Underscore Chris
Designing.
Cormier.
I love him. I love when he says that. Designing.
What's the address again?
It's the real deal Cormier at gmail.com. He was trying to give me this underscore Chris Cormier or Cormier, whatever you want to say.
Whatever you want to say.
Now I'm gonna go on record. Next year, I'm actually gonna go through let Chris do my posing for me.
Oh,
I'm gonna let him get me in
do
there
it. Let's
and
do it,
practice,
man.
do my
Let's
practice
do it.
posing and stuff.
Oh,
with Chris.
that's
man.
big.
Let's do that.
That's
do that,
big.
baby. Let's do that.
That's big, right
What am
there.
I getting myself
Back in
into?
the game,
That's
baby.
big. That's big.
That's
right
what we
there.
do.
Lord have mercy.
That's what we do.
That's big. That's exciting news right there.
All right, guys. So you guys take care, and I hope you enjoyed this video. And we will be back with another one real soon. All right.
Yes, sir.
Peace.